Hello guys, my name is Evans and welcome to this tutorials. I'm gonna start working on the 2016 specimen paper in these next video tutorials, and in this video in particular I'll be looking at a section from the paper 3 data analysis section, and after that I'll put up another video where I will do a section on web authoring. Okay, so after that then I'll look at the paper 2 specimen paper. Okay, so let's get started. All right, so I did download my files that I needed for my paper 3, or in this video tutorial. um, so these are my files that I need for paper 3, both HTML section as well as data analysis, and then this is just my question paper. Right. Right, so this is the specimen paper for exams beginning 2016 also, and there has been a slight change in the structure of the paper, and I feel the 2016 specimen paper kind of makes the presentation of the exam overall like easy, in that um, the parts that are being asked of you, like, they have been categorized, and it's kind of easy to work with this specimen paper. You notice there's emphasis where you're being asked to print. You see that there's emphasis, and what is needed for you before you do the actual printout is actually specified. Unlike these other papers, it wasn't explicitly showing exactly what you need there, but like this one is vivid. You can see what you need to make sure and stuff like that. So I like this paper, and I guess working through it, you guys will also love the structure and the layout of this paper. And I hope that you guys are going to write your exams in 2016 you really are going to do better compared to the guys who've written in the past years. Just looking at this paper, the way it is structured and all. So let's get started with this paper. So task one says we need to create a new word process document. Make sure that your name, center number, and candidate number will appear on every page of your evidence document by placing these details in the header of the document. Okay, so we should save this document in our work area as p evidence, followed by your candidate name, candidate number rather, for example p3 evidence 999. Okay, so we need this evidence document during the examination to place your screenshots in when required. Okay, so I'm gonna create a blank document, and right, so I'm gonna create this document, and we've been asked to make sure that in the header we have your candidate name, center number, as well as candidate number, that they should appear on every single page. So I'm gonna put this as my header. So insert header, and I'll choose blank 3 columns. As usual, put my candidate name there. I'll say Chikasa Evans, and my center number. So my center number is ZM556, and I'm gonna put here my candidate number 0001. Okay, and I need to save this document in my work area. So pardon me guys, let me just create my work area on the desktop. Okay, so I'm gonna call it 2016 specimen paper work area. Okay, that's fine. And I'm gonna just drag these files inside. Just put the source files. I'm just gonna copy all these files, and I'm gonna go back with my desktop and just paste them inside my work area. Okay, so um, I'll go back here and save my evidence document in my work area. So I'm gonna go to desktop and 2016 specimen paper work area, and I'm gonna paste, save it as p3 evidence. Let me just verify that. Okay, P3 evidence. Okay, let me just copy this. P3 evidence. Right, so P3 evidence, paste that, and then followed by your candidate number at the end. So save it. Okay, so I'll need this file later on. For now, I'm just gonna focus on the other section. Okay, so task 2. Okay, you are going to prepare a spreadsheet for Super Scuba. You will use the spreadsheet to create a chart and calculate the cost of diving trips. Um, Display all currency values in dollars to 2 decimal places. This is very important, that when you come to do your formatting, you should know that there was a part that actually asked you to place or display your current or your currency values rather in dollars, correct to 2 decimal places. Okay, so step 1, using a suitable software package, load the file p3sheet.csv. Save this file with your center number and candidate number, e.g. that, okay, ZZ 999 underscore 9999. And yeah, so let me just open this file before I even read on. So I'll go back to my files. Let me just close this, close this. These are the files that I did download. And so the file I'm supposed to open is this one. I'm just gonna go open, then open with Excel 2016, and this is the file. Okay, so I'm asked to save it as save the file with your center number and candidate number. So center number first, and then so this is your center number first. Okay, and this is your candidate number at the end. Right, so I'm going to go here, file, save as, and browse. So my desktop, and this is work area, and I'll change it to a workbook and save it as ZM556, my center number, underscore 0001. Okay, so just verify the format. It's center number underscore candidate number. Okay, so center number underscore candidate number, and I'll click on save. Right, next step, insert a new row above row 1. So above row 1, I'm gonna insert a new row. And step 2, in cell A1, enter the title, Super Scuba Trips 2012 to 2015. So here, Super, is it Super? Let me just verify. Okay, Super Scuba Trips 2012 to 13. Okay, let me just verify. It's very important that you enter the text as accurate as possible, that there is no misspelling of some kind, that the text should be accurate as possible, and that you gain a mark also for having text to be accurate. Okay, so right, so I've entered that. Step 3, merge the cells B2 to E2, F2 to I2, J2 to M2, and N2 to Q2. Okay, so I'm gonna merge the cell B2 is this one to E2. I'll click merge and center. G2, rather F2 to I2, merge and center. J2 to M2, merge and center. N to Q there. Okay, that should be fine. Okay, so I've done all the merging of these cells. Format these cells so that the text is center aligned with black, a black or yeah, black font color, and it's 18 point and a sans serif font. Okay, so it's already center aligned, as you can see. So I'm just gonna highlight these merge cells, and I'm going to make them 18 pt, and they're already in a sans serif font. Okay, and for a video really to get an explanation of the difference between sans serif font and the serif font, I did a video. I think it should be the paper 3 in the no, October November 2015. It should be in the playlist. When you watch that video, I did take some time to explain the difference between a sans serif font and a serif font. So in this video, I'm not going to take time to do that. If you're not clear, you can just go watch that video. At some point, I did explain the difference between sans serif font and a serif font. So I'm going to go back here and just verify. So it's the text is supposed to be center aligned with black, okay, then 18 point and sans serif font, and which I've done that. It is black, 18 point, okay, and it's sans serif font. Okay, next, each block of the cells that we formatted, it should be having a gray background, okay, with thin black border. Okay, so I'm gonna make this background here. I'm gonna choose gray, whichever. I'm gonna go for this one. Let's see. I'm trying to pick up. Okay, I'll get this one, gray, and okay, what else needs to be formatted? We should put a thin black border. Okay, so just as the cells are selected like this, I'm gonna go here, and here there is nothing like thin black border. You have something like thick bottom border, thick outside border. So please just go on more borders. Okay, and under border tab, okay, select this one. It's kind of thin. This one is thick, but this one is thin. Okay, and it should be an outline. Okay, which means we want the outside border, and yeah, just verify that and click on OK. So what you should see is if a border around the block of cells that you selected. Okay, and yeah, so right, so the next thing that we're supposed to do actually is step 4, format cells A2. Okay, cells A2 to rather A2 and R2 so that they appear the same as those formatted in step 3. So in other ways, this one and that one, I need to make their background gray, their font size 18, they should be sans serif, and they should be center aligned as well, because we're talking about the formatting to be the same as the other one. Okay, so they should be center aligned, sans serif, gray background, and thin black border. So I'll put a border, go more borders, and select this one and outline and that one. So the next thing that you just have to make sure is that they are actually centered. Okay, next step, in cell E4, use a function to calculate the number of trips in April, May, and June. Okay, so in cell E4 we need to calculate the number of we put a function to calculate the number of trips in April, May, and June. Okay, so let me just go back here. So subtotal, which means subtotal of this, okay, a total of these 3 should be here, a total of this should be here, and so on and so forth. So equal to sum, and I provide myself as B4 to D4, I think. Yeah, okay, and my subtotal is 11. Step 5, in cell E5, enter a function to calculate the total income from April, May, and June. Okay, and I think even step 7 asks us to do the same in E6 to enter the function to calculate the total expenditure from April, May, and June. Now you notice that the formula that I'm using here is actually the same formula that I need to use here. I have to say equal to sum and provide b5 this time, b5 and b5 to d5, like that. Okay, so this is the same formula. So instead of me just typing that, I can replicate this formula, just drag it there and let it go. Okay, so that's that. So step 7 done. So step 8, replicate the formula entered in steps 5, 6 and 7 to calculate and display the data for the quarters 2, 3 and 4. Okay, so this data that is here, I can just copy it and paste it there. Okay, and copy this same one, paste it there and paste it there. Okay, and you have all these values for this is second quarter, third quarter is this one, and last quarter is that one. And in each case, you see that Excel actually picked up the correct values. Okay, picked up the correct values. Okay, so next step, step 9, calculate the profit for each month and each quarter. And the formula that we're supposed to use is profit is equal to income minus expenditure. Okay, so profit is equal to income minus expenditure. So this is the profit for each month, this is our income, and this is our expenditure. So I'm gonna say profit, which is B5, minus expenditure, which is B6. Okay, and that's our profit. Okay, so the question is, we calculate the profit for each month and each quarter. So what I'm going to do is just replicate this formula. Just take my mouse, click and hold where I have a plus sign there, and drag it all the way to subtotal. Okay, I know total would need to have something as well here, but I'll put up something just in a short while. So calculate the total number of trips, income and expenditure and profit for the year. Okay, so there we go. So we need to calculate the total expenditure, the total income, and the total profit for the year, as well as the number of trips. So for the number of trips, we are running from B5 to P to PQ, rather PQ, not PQ, to P5. So notice that there are subtotals here, and we don't need the subtotals. There are two things that can happen here. You can indicate the sum of the subtotals. Okay, so you can pick up just E4, then pick up also I4 and M4 and Q4. Okay, these are the totals. Okay, so you may not need to pick up all these values there, so you just need to say equal to and then specify beginning E4, okay, plus, okay, then I4, okay, so that's the total, plus M4, okay, that's the total, and plus Q4, okay, that's one. So that's the total. It's 71. Okay, so the total of this one and this one and this one and this one equal to 71. All right, so next we need to calculate the total for the income. Okay, as well, for the total for the income, I just need to pick up this one, this one, this one, and this one. So I can just replicate this formula just like that. I hope it will work out nicely. Okay, so replicate the formula and get the total as this. Okay, next step, on the left in the footer, add your name, center number and candidate number, Okay, so let's go back here. Insert. We need to insert a footer. Just scroll down at the very end. Okay, where it says add footer. In the left, we need to put our name. So Chikasa Evans, comma candidate, rather center number ZM556, comma candidate number which is 0001. Okay, and go back. In the right of the footer, add the automated file name and path. Okay, so here I need to put automated file name and path. So I'll go on design, and then you see there is file path, file name, sheet name, but I want file name. Okay, so if you hover your mouse there, not your mouth. If you hover your mouse there, you will see that you add the file name or the name of the current file, including the full path to the header or footer. So I'm going to click there, and automatically you see that it will put path and file. So if I click outside the footer, you'll see that it has added the file path as well as the file name at the end. Okay, so step 12. In cell B9, use a function to display the greatest monthly profit. Okay, in cell B9, so we display the greatest monthly profit. Okay, so in that's B9. So we need to put we need to check which of these actually is the greatest monthly profit. Okay, so we're going to use the maximum function. Okay, so we start equal to max. Okay, and the maximum function is job, or its role is actually just to return the largest value in a set of values that you provide. Okay, so it kind of traverse through the values that you provide, or a set or a range of values that you provide, and it will extract and just display the greatest or the highest or the maximum value in the list of the values that you've provided. So the values that we are interested in are the values for the profit. Okay, so we want to check which month actually sold more, which one was the best month. So we have to start looking at the ranges. So the range, first one is from April to June. Okay, April to June, comma, and then from July to July to September, okay, comma, then October to December, comma, and then lastly January to March, and close. Okay, so you will see this is what we have here. B7 to D7, F7 to H7, J7 to L7, and N7 to P7 as the months. And so once that is done, we should have some value here as the best month. So the best month was one that provided 28,000. Okay, the worst month, we're going to do the same. So we go to minimum, and then minimum, then we provide again from April to June. Okay, so I'm just clicking on these cells. From July, I click on July and put a full colon from my keyboard and click on September, and you see automatically Excel puts H7 for me, comma, and then I pick up October, full colony to December. So don't worry, the moment you press full colony on a keyboard, Excel kind of puts up J7. It's like J7 to J7. So don't worry, just go ahead and click on December, and you see that it changes to L7 here. Okay, so before I close, then there should be now January, full colony to March. Okay, and I'll close. Okay, so that's what I have here, and you will see that it is 0 as the minimum, and because December has no value, so the minimum is actually 0, so it should be working. The maximum has picked up this one, so if you traverse through from June, May, April, May, June, you don't have anything that is maximum. You have 18, you have 17, you have 400, then you have 19, and you have 2, and then you take note that in January we did have 28, and this is what is actually being displayed as a maximum. So next step, so we're done with the lowest. Okay, so just take note that usually when you're talking about the greatest in Excel, you are actually thinking about the maximum function. When you're talking about the lowest, you are thinking about the minimum function, the mean function. Now we're going to use in cell B11 a function to display the average monthly profit. Okay, so I'm gonna come back here, and the same thing, I'm gonna use the average function. Okay, and it takes in numbers. Okay, so I'll provide the range. Again, it's B7 to um, D7. Okay, comma, July to September. Okay, comma, October to December, comma, the last one is January to March, and I'll close that. And so press enter, and that is my average. Okay, so next step, apply appropriate formatting to all cells except row 2. Okay, so except row 2. Row 2 is this one. We've already formatted it, so we need to apply appropriate formatting. Okay, so among the formatting that we are going to do, first of all, is to make sure that the cells are fully visible, one, and also make sure that all currency values are displayed in dollars and they have 2 decimal places. Um, they are formatted to 2 decimal places. Remember, that's what we were told here, that all currencies must be displayed in dollars and they should be formatted to 2 decimal places. So you must identify which of your values are currencies, and I know, like for me, from April going to profit all the way to the last one here, total, this one, so these um, should be currency values. So I'm going to go on here and select currency, and just scroll down and look for dollar. There are many dollar sign symbols here. I'll pick up US dollar, United States, and should be formatted to 2 decimal places, and I'll say okay, and you'll see that the dollar, the currency, is formatted to 2 decimal places, and it has the values there. The month and these two as well, I'll format them as currency. Okay, so let me just format these as currency. Currency, and I'll make sure that English, US. Okay, that one. Okay, so I have that, and the next thing is just to make sure that all my fields are actually visible. As you can see, quarter here is not visible, and there should be some months that are not visible. Let me see. Okay, the months are visible, but I need to make sure. So to do that, you see that best month here and worst month, they are not visible, and expenditure is cut, and so on, number of whatever is cut. So select just right on top corner here. I know what you can do is you can double click on each edge of cell boundary between 2 cells. When you double click, that cell sort of enlarges according to the size or the width of the contents of the cell. But sometimes there may be too many cells. Like in this case, we have too many cells, and I just don't want to go and start clicking between C and D, between D and E, between E and F, all the way to the last one. So I'm just gonna select just write this triangle just top left corner here. Just click on it and you see that your table is highlighted, and just go one of the cells, either this one or where it borders, and just double click there, and you see that all the cells will automatically be adjusted to suit the size of the cells that you have there, the size of the contents in the cells. So I think I've done the formatting. Unless otherwise, we'll come back if we've left out any. But I've added the dollars, and I've added the 2 decimal places, and all my cells are fully visible. Okay, so that was step 15. So step 18, edit the formula in cell B11 so that it also rounds this value to the nearest whole dollar. Okay, so whenever you talk about, because if you look at this step or the instruction, the command word that we have is to do the rounding. Okay, this is the word that should stand out. So this is the command word. So we are being asked to do a round up to the nearest whole dollar. There's round down and there is round up, but in this case I'm just going to round. Okay, so so B11, which is this one, I need to edit the formula. Now, to edit the formula doesn't mean that you delete this formula that is existing. No, please don't do that. Okay, edit means that modify the formula. The formula is going to be there, but you're just going to modify it so that you add more functionality to it. So what I'm going to do is to add up the round up function. So I'll say round and put brackets there. So you see the round actually takes in a number as well as the number that you want to round up, and then the number of digits that you want to round it up to. Okay, so in this case, want to round it to the nearest whole number, and I'll put a 0 at the end there and press that. Now, may I just explain here that average, this one actually returns a value. Okay, it returns a value, and which the value which is returned is actually considered as a number to be supplied to the round function. And the last part here, the 0, shows you that these are the number of decimal places that you are rounding off your number to. Okay, so now there is another part here that says display the contents of this cell so that it shows only integer values. Now if you check out this one, it doesn't show integer values, even though we are rounding to the nearest dollar. But we don't want the 2 zeros there, because this is not an integer. An integer doesn't have decimal points. Okay, you can talk about floating point numbers, double numbers, and stuff like that. They do have decimal point numbers and stuff. So integers are known as discrete numbers. They are counting numbers. They are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you don't do 1.2, 1.3, 1.7. So as the way the way the average profit is currently, it shows you that it's not an integer. But we've been told that we should make display the contents of this cell so that it shows only integer values. So what I'm going to do is to remove the element of number of decimal places from the currency. So select this one, go back here and go to currency, and just remove the number of decimal places. It shouldn't have decimal places. Okay, and just say okay, and you will notice it will be automatically a whole number, an integer. Okay, next step, save and print a spreadsheet showing formula, and make sure that it is landscape orientation. The row and column headings are displayed, and the contents are fully visible. Okay, the contents of the cell. So one, we need to save it. Okay, and make sure that you go to print, and then one, check it is landscape orientation, and I'm going to go on page setup for me to put the columns and the row headings. Go to page setup and go to sheet, and then you find row and column headings. Now, may I say that when you put rows and column headings, sometimes maybe the next section may not ask you to put rows and column headings, and so you must be mindful that rows and column headings are put there. Okay, so that should be that. Okay, guys, I'm gonna have to pause the video so that I can just pick up a phone call. I will continue the video in just a short while. Let me just pick up a. All right, guys. Sorry about that. I had to pick up a phone call. Yeah, so I'll continue with I've even forgotten what I was talking about. Yeah, but let me just go back here and update myself. Okay, so we've done the landscape. It's in landscape orientation. We've put the row and column headings, and we've not actually we did make sure that the cells are fully visible. So let's just go back and verify. So check on this page. You see that there's no word that is actually cut. Go to the next page and see that also there is no word that is cut. So the contents of the cells are fully visible. The rows and column headings are there, and it is in landscape orientation. Okay, now just for the sake of you guys out there with your printers, just make sure that if you're using a printer that is using A4, just make sure that your paper size is set to A4. Otherwise you may find that you're cutting something and stuff. Okay, so make sure that it is set to A4. Okay, um, yeah, I think I'm done with that one. So the printout, so make sure that you have entered your center number, candidate number, and name on your spreadsheet, and then it should show formula. Okay, so guys, this is very important. Before I even print that, this part actually asked us that it should show formula. Okay, so I kind of went ahead of myself. So let's just go back here a bit. Let's go to formula and then show formula. And so you see all these are formulas, and then I'm going to select this triangle here again just to resize the cells, and double click on the edges so that the cells are kind of resized. And now let's go back to print. Okay, so the rows and column headings are still there, and it's on A4 and it's landscape. Okay, and then now we can go ahead and print it. So before just print, okay, center number, candidate number, and name, that they should be there. Okay, so your name, candidate number, center number, and so on is there. So I'll just click on print. Next step, step 18, print the spreadsheet showing the values. Make sure that the printout fits on a single page and the contents of the cell are fully visible. So I'm going to go back here and undo the formula one, and you can check that you have hashtags throughout, and meaning the contents of the cells are not fully visible. So because I've selected already the entire table by clicking the triangle here, I'm just going to click on one of the edges of the cells, and my cells will be visible. Okay, Excel will automatically resize this sheet to fit the size that is there. Okay, so yeah, so now it should fit on a single page and the contents are fully visible. So go on file, hit save, go to print, and this time around we're going to make sure that the values are there, and then we have not been asked about the row and column heading. Come back here. Okay, be careful on this one. This one doesn't ask you to do the rows and column headings, so I'm gonna remove them, the rows and column headings, because the step here doesn't ask me to put. It is step 17 that asked me to actually make sure that the rows and column headings are displayed. On 18 I'm not asked to do that. Okay, so I'll just remove them. Okay, I'll just remove them and just let it be like that. Okay, and um, the next thing is to make sure that you scale it to fit to one page. So just go to scaling and then fit sheet on one page, and it's going to be like that. Okay, And I think that should be fine for this one. That should be fine for this one. I'm gonna print this. Let me just verify. Fits on a single page and the contents are fully visible. That's all. And I'm going to print this one. Okay, next. Update the spreadsheet with the following data. Step 19, income was 45 and expenditure was 42,000. So for December, income was 45,000 and expenditure was 42,000. Okay. Okay, so income 45, expenditure 42, and all these other parts get to be automatically updated. Right, so I'm done with that. Print the spreadsheet showing the values. Okay. Make sure that the printer fits on a single page and the contents of the cells are fully visible. So I'm going to print this, go file and print, and then the contents of the cell are fully visible, which means under scaling, make sure that fits sheet on one page, and it's on A4 and it's landscape, and I'll print that. Right. So so that should mark the end of a section, the section in data analysis in the Specimen paper 2016. So I hope you guys have learned one or two things in this paper. We'll be doing next a section on web page, rather web authoring, web page. Yeah, I'll be doing a section on web authoring, and you guys, you need to subscribe to my channel and just like my videos. Whenever I put up a new video, you get a notification when you're subscribed that I have actually put up a new video. My target is actually to do as many videos as I can do before the June exams and before the November exams. So once I finish the 2016 paper, I'll start looking at the 2014 exam series, and then I'll go to the 2013, then the 2012. I'm probably just 2011. That will be the last one for this series. Okay, then I'll start talking about other things, and by then maybe there will be other stuff that needs to be attended to, and I'll probably just start doing tutorials on lessons in on a particular subject in ICT practical papers. Okay, so guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your time. God bless you, and I wish you the very best as you prepare for your exams. This has been Evans, and see you in the next video tutorial.